Hello everybody, I'm your host Carman, and today I have just a simple first video for the channel where I'm going to be detailing this 2001 Toyota RAV4. Should be quite simple, should be quite fun, and I hope you enjoy. Alrighty, so to start off with, I have just a basic cleaning thing. I'm just going to be using a pressure washer that I have hooked up to the house with the hose, as well as a shop vac, a few other cleaning items such as 409, some tire cleaner, and then microfiber cloths, as well as the soap I'll be using with the hydro pressure that I'll get into later. But yeah, overall it's just a basic simple wash down that I'm going to be doing. So I already cleaned the driver's side. That's with the soapy stuff that I'm doing now, which is also the soap nozzle on the hydro pressure washer that I talked about earlier. This is just the basic spray down, though. I'm not going to be going into too much detail because the weather's horrible right now, and also the paint is just not that good on the car as is. But yeah, so I've done the driver's side, the front, the door, and then soon I'll be getting into the back of it, which is just again another simple spray. I would like to note I am trying to get the roof throughout this process, especially with the hosing or watering down with the separate nozzle that I now have. And I'm basically going top down as well, so I'm trying to make sure I don't have to respray any of the areas again, especially since drying will be a factor that I have to take into play mainly, which normally I wouldn't have to, but the reason I would have to take in drying is just I'm using unclean or unfiltered water, basically, which means it's gonna be a little more dirty than normal, so you have to wipe it off, which isn't too big of a deal. But it means if I have to go back area over with soap, it might cause some water crystals or water drops, dried up water to spawn on, which will be a lot harder to get off because you can't just clean them off like simple spray like you can with most of the other dirt and filth that get on there. But yeah, so nothing else really. Again, you can see me at the front. I'm making sure to get the roof as well, which I will show later on. But overall, it's a pretty simple and easy process to get through. You can see me get the driver's side as well. That's the side that I did miss while filming this originally when I was spraying on all the soapy stuff, but it's not really that big a deal. I would like to note that throughout this process, the main areas that water built up were on the sort of side fin detailing sort of thing, I would describe it, as well as the doors were slightly tricky to clean, but overall it's not that bad at all. But yeah, here you can see me getting on the roof. Well, not getting on the roof, but cleaning the roof, and you can see sort of the water coming down the windscreen, which isn't ideal, but it's better than everywhere else. And then I'm drying it off because, like I said, I don't want to get any of the brown or hard water on it. But other than that, you can see it's looking a lot better. You can't really pick up on how the small water droplets are covering it right on the camera, unfortunately. But yeah, so this part, it just looks shinier now. You can sort of see on the front how messed up the paint is, but there are just black chips that the camera's not picking up on and whatnot. Now, getting into the actual detailing of the car itself, as opposed to just the blanket outside, because it's just going to get messed up basically with the weather. This very day that you're watching this, it started to hail, so I had to pack it up early, unfortunately. But here you can see me just basically unpacking everything that's in the back. There was a spare tire, the equipment to change said spare tire, as well as a foldable basket, some plastic, a hammer, and just some extra floor mats for some reason. Now, the reason the spare tire isn't actually attached to the nifty little back holder that this car has is because the spare tire was changed on this car a little while ago, and during that, the lug nut or bolt, however you want to call it, that was holding it on to the actual back fell off at some point during it. So now I'm just sort of stuck with having to keep it in the back, because I can't really securely fasten it on the outside where you're supposed to. But it's really whatever. It doesn't really matter. I don't use this car or anything, so it's fine. But yeah, now I'm just sort of busting out the vacuum and getting all the big stuff. Now I would like to point out though, sort of lighter tones in the carpet. That is basically just due to this like chalky rock bag you'll see me take out sooner that really got everywhere somehow. I'm not sure how. But it made all these light spots that I really just can't get out with this basic vacuum. I mean, I've tried. But, I mean, I'm sure I could if I spent hours on one specific section, but I just don't have that time, and this video would be way too long if I did. So, unfortunately, I just don't, but yeah. Moving on to the seats, I will be removing them, and as well as the carpet you sort of saw me lift up in the last shot, just so I can fully clean under, deep clean this car as best I can with the vacuum is my main goal here. But yeah, so I removed the seats. The passenger side ones was the first one I tried, so it's a little more tricky than normal, but it's really not that bad. Just pull on a few tabs, and then it'll just pop right out. As well as the same deal for the second other side one. But yeah. And so now that I've gotten both of the back seats out from the car, I'm able to get in there with the vacuum and sort of both take out that big bit of carpet that I can from before, as well as the bigger bits of trash, and then get the bits of carpet that would be a lot easier without the seats, as you can see right now. Overall, it's pretty simple. I did go in to get the little like latch areas that have built up dust with the sort of straight pipe and not the wide end for the shop vac, as well as there's that little bag of rocks, that like white bag that died. Well, not died, but made everything in the back a lot whiter than it normally should be. But yeah, for the rest it's just straight normal vacuuming. But yeah, now we get to the sort of end for the first day because it started hailing, but now we're just cleaning out the driver's or passenger side, of the car with just basic big trash so far. And then I'll get in there with the actual vacuum. There you can see, and sort of cleaning up all the dog hair that was still in the front, by the way, not just in the back. Because that's really the main thing that I was trying to clean through that you can't even see on this camera, but it is what it is. And now it's day 2. I had to give up on the last day because it started to hail. You could kind of see it on the footage there, but it just wasn't really popping through. But now that I have set up the vacuum, I have gotten the big dumpster, or not dumpster, but trash can. I am ready to get back to it. I started with the passenger seat again, just because there are still some bits I've yet to get. You can still see some small particles on the camera, but not really a lot. But what really gets interesting is that the next side, for the driver's side, is where you can really see, because that's where I fully start from the beginning. I take out all the big stuff like the mat, as well as just like bits of paper and some other small bigger rocks and whatnot from just the months to years that this thing has collected dirt and stuff. So yeah, this part's probably going to be the best part of it. I wish, looking back on it, I definitely would have tried to get more close-up shots like this throughout the whole project or filming, just because it's a lot easier, it's a lot more satisfying to see the before and after. But yeah, you can see me, I'm using the more narrow side to get the sort of corners and whatnot, just because it's easier, it's a lot less messier to get the corners when it's not so wide and whatnot. But next, so I didn't get a lot done compared to the first day, but what I did get, so this is sort of coming up on the end, but what I did get done is finishing up this sort of the back seats, So I just sat them on the tire once they were clean, so I could elevate them from the leaves, and then I sort of vacuuming. These seats were really what was the worst when it comes to dog hair and stuff like that. These were the worst perpetrators, I could say. I mean, what really sucks is that you can't really see it. Looking back on it, though, I definitely would have come up with like some sort of more controlled environment where I could have set up a camera like above it or something that would have definitely caught all of this, but you live and learn, and so just here we are now. Yeah, so you can't really tell this time because I'm using sort of the same jacket, but this is now day 3 of this, and I started with cleaning off the spare tire that lives in the back. I was hoping a lot more of the dirt and filth on that, or the miscoloring was just, dirt, but it's really more like just rusted over stuff that you need to really scrub off, so it's not going to come off or anything in the back there, making it messy, which is what I was really focusing on with that. But yeah, this is the last time I used the pressure washer and all that stuff, so yeah, it's quite satisfying, and I do genuinely like doing this. It's quite fun, which is why I decided to make a video on this. But yeah, next you can see me sort of vacuuming in the seats of the front that I didn't get to last or the day previously on day 2. But overall, it's pretty simple. I'm just basically vacuuming. I did empty out the center console area thing, but I mean, there's really not much else going on in this whole video right now. It's pretty basic, especially once you've seen the back seats, because I was able to get a lot more of them done, because these don't have as much dog hair, so it's just really not as interesting. But if we move on to the back, you could see where I had to sort of store everything in the actual car itself. Thankfully, it was still sunny outside, so I would be able to set down the seats on the spare tire again, just out of the shot. But yeah, so I have to take everything out, and then you can see it, because I've put all the floor mats and stuff in there. So I just getting them all in, setting them all down. I do actually vacuum again, just all the secondary buildup. And you can't really see on the wheel wells in this shot, but on the actual wheel wells, there are just a bunch of scuff marks that I really wish I would be able to get, but I just can't with my skill level and whatnot, which is a shame, but oh well. But yeah, so I hope so we're practically at the end, so I'm going to start on the outro, but I hope you did like this video. Apparently it helps if you ask to like and subscribe, but I mean, I wouldn't, so yeah. But I hope you did like this. I will be putting a bunch of other videos on. I do have another channel, Pugman, that's going to be more creative endeavors, not just car related, because I do quite love cars, but that's just going to be like a lot less limited in content and style I can make. I already have one video that's going to be a bit more of a passion project, because this is the 3rd video idea I've had for this channel, and every one of them has not gone well. So this is sort of the lowest quality one that I'm making, which is quite sucks. But this is like but I've tried for 3 weeks, and at some point you just have to post what you have. So this is what I'm doing. So yeah, goodbye.